Hi everybody, Lucas here, and today I'm bringing you just a fun little build that I've come across in Destiny 2 Lightfall. I've played thousands of hours of Destiny 2, but I mainly play a hunter. However, when I saw this aspect available on the new Strand Warlock, I knew I had to give this a try. So yeah, I did have to steal my partner's account for this, so I don't have the exact perfect stats or anything, but I just wanted to give it a shot and show it off. The focus of this build is to be activating Weaver's Trance on your Strand Warlock, and then combine it with both Osteostriga and Necrotic Grip to spread both poison and suspend at the same time. So for your Strand build, there's going to be two things that are important. You're going to have the Mind Spun Invocation aspect. We currently only have two aspects available on Strand anyway, but this will be necessary if we get more later on. And then the only other thing is that you're going to have a Shackle Grenade, which does unfortunately mean you get no grapple, but trust me, it's worth it. The fragments that I've thrown on for this build are Thread of Generation, so you get your grenade energy back quickly, Thread of Mind, to get your class ability back quickly for defeating suspended targets, Thread of Continuity, to suspend enemies for even longer, and then Thread of Warding, to be able to keep proccing Woven Mail to get some nice needed damage resist. Okay, so you will mainly be shooting Osteostriga for the entirety of this build, but I would recommend putting on maybe some hard-hitting burst damage weapons, maybe a shotgun or a fusion, maybe a rocket launcher or a linear fusion rifle, something like that. Just so that when the big suspended mini-bosses and champions and stuff are there, you'll have something to deal with them that'll be a bit quicker. You'll see in the gameplay here that I'm rocking a tier 7 discipline. I was easily getting the grenade back within the 25 seconds that you have for Weaver's Trance, so I basically had infinite uptime with it. A bit of resistance always helps. I currently had a tier 5, which was making me a little bit squishy at times, but as soon as you get that Woven Mail, it does really help. It's a crazy amount of damage resist that you get from the Woven Mail, and it really helps keep you alive, as well as having your healing rift. Speaking of which, having a decent recovery is also a good option here. It does obviously help with survivability, combined with Woven Mail, just keep getting your rift back. However, you do keep getting class energy back on suspend kills, so once again, we do have things that are helping out lower stats here. I would recommend using the seasonal artifact to get less cost on any of the grenade mods. I will say though, I did have this build working absolutely fine without it, so it's not going to stop working after this season. It plays absolutely fine without it, just frees up a few more points on your armor. For the mods on the helmet, you only need Kinetic Cipher, and that means that you're just making plenty of orbs with Osteostriga so that you can keep getting Woven Mail and your much needed armor charge. I've thrown Grenade Kickstart on the arms, because that way you're consuming your armor charge to get grenade energy back every time you activate Weaver's Trance, and then I went with Focusing Strike and Heavy Handed just to make more orbs and class ability energy to ensure the build keeps flowing, but they're optional. On the chest, I personally just threw a couple of charged up mods. They're not necessary, but it does mean that we can get up to 5 stacks of armor charge rather than just 3. That just helps us get even more grenade energy back every time we are consuming it. On the legs, I would definitely recommend stacks on stacks to be getting armor charge faster, and then I'd also get Innovation to get grenade energy back when you're picking up your orbs. As you might be able to see, I went with Kinetic Surge on this build as well. That will make Osteostriga hit a bit harder when you've got armor charge. However, it does consume your armor charge over time, so it's definitely an optional thing. I find it makes the build a bit more effective, but it does require you to manage your armor charge a little bit rather than just having it build up and stay there until you consume your grenade. And then I would recommend, if you go with any surge mod, to just throw Time Dilation on your bond to make sure it is a bit more manageable. Other than that, I would go with some bomber or distribution mods to once again make everything just come back even faster on your Warlock. Another option is to use a mod to get grenade energy back on finishers, but I personally found myself not using it on this build, and I just thought the armor charge was better used for just when you're consuming your grenade. There's a bit less thought going into it. It just kind of happens a bit more naturally. So now that we've got the build sorted, let's just talk about the gameplay for a second. The build is so much fun because you just kind of point and shoot your SMG and watch it do the work for you, just spreading poison and suspend, and enemies are pretty helpless because even if you can't kill them with the poison, they're just stuck in the air waiting for you to kill them anyway. It absolutely wipes the floors with all of the minor red bars and stuff, and then all of the champions and mini bosses will of course just be suspended for the cleanup process. So to kick off the build, you're going to hold your grenade button to consume your Shackle Grenade. That'll give you Weaver's Trance for about 25 seconds. Then essentially you just shoot everything with Osteostriga and watch everything die and suspend. And that's about it. Maybe you can put down a healing rift or throw some needles. It'll get you some more orbs, get you some energy back, but then you can just go collect your orbs from the hordes of enemies that have died and rinse and repeat. I'd definitely start off by trying to kill a red bar enemy to be spreading the poison and suspend as quickly as possible. But yeah, once it's kicked off, it pretty much just sorts itself out, and it also gives you a bunch of SMG ammo, so you can pretty much just keep firing without reloading for the most part. This build can actually get you so much grenade energy back that sometimes I was able to throw an actual shackle grenade within the 25-second timer and then still get another grenade back in time to activate Weaver's Trance immediately again. As I mentioned earlier, I did have to steal somebody's account for this, so they weren't high level enough to go and try out any high level missions yet, but as I say, this was just something I wanted to show off as a really fun build that made me kind of jealous as a hunter. I do think that this should be fine in higher level missions in theory, because you just start shooting some red bars and then you leave everything suspended. Fantastic for crowd control, and yeah, even if you can't kill them, you're at least helping out your fire team, managing all of the ads, suspending champions and mini-bosses. I don't really see what could go wrong here. The most important thing really is that even if this build doesn't end up being top tier, it's certainly top tier fun, and I would definitely recommend giving it a go. You can see in some of the gameplay that I just went to the Altars of Sorrow to try it out, see how much crowd control I could actually do, and essentially things can't spawn in time before they die. Anyway, go try this build out, spread your poison, spread your suspend, go and enjoy Strand, go and enjoy Lightfall. If you want to see more of these just fun, dumb builds in Destiny, then give the video a little like to let me know, and if you manage to try out this build, let me know how you found it in the comments. Thank you very much.
Once again, we are here to say a big thank you to our patrons. As you can see scrolling past you right now, our supporters, big thank you to them, but even bigger thank you to our VIPs. And a special way of thanking them, we are going to go through some of the top movies on IMDb, as if made by the USC.
So, the number one film on the list is The Patrick Bratson Redemption.
Oh, great movie. Number 2, The Benjamin Fridman Father.
Number 3, we have The Dog Shay Pinder.
Ooh. Number 4, The Mile High Farm D Father Part 2.
At number 5, we have 12 Angry Sarapol.
12.
Shut up.
Number 6, a masterpiece, is Liam List.
At number 7, oh god, there's so many words in this one. At number 7, we have the Lord of the Aero QC, Return of the King.
Number 8, we have Jet Road Fiction.
Oh god. At number 9, we have Lord of the Rings, the Binger of the Ring. The Binger of the Ringer.
Do you want to say Fellowship of the Binger? That would have been much easier. Number 10, The Good, The Bad, and the Kynan Plays Games.
At number 11, we have Little Bear Gump.
Number 12, Popsicle Tart Club. That's a great club.
Don't talk about Popsicle Club. Oh, not another Lord of the Rings film. Okay, so number 13, we have Lord of the Rings, the Rotoscope Towers.
There's only one word in this title.
Oh, yeah.
Number 14, Shinetchian. It's meant to be Inception, if I was wondering.
Synaption. Number 15. Why have the long names? You have like the shortest name.
If one word, you have 20.
Star Wars Episode 5, The Andy Ellis Strikes Back.
The number, what are we on? Number 16, The Armite One-Atrix.
At number 17, we have Anna Fellas. Or Good Anna Goo. Good Anna Goo.
Anna Goodfellas.
Oh my god, Anna Goodfellas.
Number 18, we have One Flew Over a Dinner DJ's Nest.
And I have also one word. At number 19, we have the Fezwerer Ven. It's supposed to be 7.
We didn't think this through, did we?
No.
At number 20, we have Joshua Knapp Samurai.
And finally, at number 21, we have It's a Wonderful Samuel Chesser.
Yes, it is. If you haven't heard your name, it'll be in one of the other videos. We have a lot of these patrons, so we record them in multiple segments now.
Wow, that was interesting.
Hope people enjoy these interesting readouts.
Yeah, it'll be different every month. So,
Every month.
It's going to get more ridiculous, I think.